objection. So anybody has any questions, clarifications, violent reactions, anything?
Questions, thoughts, ahas? So what I'm hearing is you guys are ready to practice. Unless you have some
Everybody's
questions or
ready to role
concerns.
play.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. What do you guys think? Come on. You'll never grow if you don't ask questions, you don't get involved. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's honestly easier than it seems. Once you log in a couple times, let's say a week, even if you're just observing, you'll absorb how we're text styling and inputting the items that are in the chat box. So just give it a try 1 or 2 days and then see if it works. Great practice.
Anyone nervous about hopping on and doing it? I got one person over here shaking their I got two people shaking their head. I was so nervous the first day that I jumped off. And I was like, oh man, I didn't like that feeling, so I jumped back on. Jules, I do think that if they want to observe for like the first day or two, they can hop on and observe, right?
Yep, definitely.
So you guys can hop on and observe. The concepts that she went over, there's a reason why they don't just give you a book. You guys want to know why? Why? Because the most important thing is showing up and practicing it. They know if you give you the book, they'll never show up. So if you want the concepts, all of the stuff that she went through in the beginning, that Jules went through, you got to attend the game room to get the concepts. Does that make sense? Okay,
All right.
so I think we're good to go on our end, Jules. What do you want to do next?
What we're going to do next basically is we're going to show you how the role play session goes. So it goes on for 15 minutes. So basically what happens there is that everybody's there, everybody's doing the tag style. I will cut the last person off because if it's time already, and then we will send you to different breakout rooms to have a role play session with a partner. Basically it's around one to no, not one, but 2 to 3 agents per breakout room, and then there's going to be a role play session. So basically if we have 2 agents in the room and then one cyberbacker for the moderator, so the first agent would act as the agent, and then the second agent would act as the client, and then the first agent would try to handle the objection while incorporating the concept, and we'll give out at least 5 to 7 statements until they can close that deal. And then after that, vice versa, the second agent will now act as a client, and the first agent will act as the agent. All right, so right now, to give you an idea of how it works, we are going to try it out right here, right now. So I'm going to be the moderator, and before we go ahead and have Juan and Nicholas here do the role play session themselves, let's have Christina first and Camille with the same objection for today, which is it's a bad time to buy. Again, everybody, we're going to stick with the objection. It's a bad time to buy. Okay? All right. So right now, I'm going to be the moderator, Christina, Camille, who will be the agent first.
I will be the agent.
Got that. All right. So Christina, you'll be the first client. And again, as always, not as always, for today, we are going to stick with the objection. It's a bad time to buy. All right, everybody, we are going to stick as well with our concept. And again, the agent has to make at most 5 to 7 statements using the concept. On the fifth or seventh statement, the client can say yes, and then once we're done, we can switch roles, or that we can have Juan and Nicholas have the role play session next. Okay? So Christina, Camille, fire away, ladies.
Camille, I think it's a bad time to buy now.
Well, you know what, Christina, if you wait for the perfect market conditions, then you might miss out on great properties that are available right now, don't you think?
Well, Camille, I don't think so. I really don't think it's not a good time for me to buy right now.
Well, if you're waiting for better economic conditions, probably, then you might miss the current opportunities that align with your personal or financial goals. And you don't want to miss any opportunities, right?
Right, but still, I think the market feels uncertain, Camille.
Well, if the current market feels uncertain, then securing a home that meets your needs and budget is a strategic move regardless of the fluctuations. We can meet today to strategize in the challenging market. Does 3 p.m. work for you?
Well, I'm not really available as of the moment. I still believe the market's still volatile right now, Camille.
Well, if you're concerned about the market's volatility, then working with an experienced agent just like myself can definitely help you navigate and find the best opportunities. And you wouldn't want to miss any of these opportunities, right?
Right, but let me think about it first because the reason why I think this is a bad time for me is because, as you know, the interest rates worries me as well.
Well, if the interest rates worries you, then we can explore financing options that might be more favorable for you. We can meet today at lunch so I can discuss these options for you. Does 1 p.m. work?
Okay, let's meet up in you.
Awesome.
There we go. So basically, that's how it works in the role play session. There's going to be a moderator, and the moderator will listen to your statements if you are able to incorporate the concept in your statements, and then they're going to count how many statements were you able to make, and then until which statement or how many statements you were able to make, and then when were you able to close that deal or have that appointment closed. So basically, that's the whole gist. Now we can have, oh, Juan jumped off.
Yeah.
Can we have Nicholas and JD? Would it be okay if you guys have the role play session? There we go. All right. So same thing again, same concept. The if and then are conditional binds. Oh, JD is warming up. So, um, there we go. No, no pressure, Nicholas. No pressure. But again, same objection, same concept. If and then, gentlemen, whenever you're ready. Oh, by the way, who's the client first? Nick?
I could be the
For
client
now?
first.
All right. Okay. So we can have Nick as a client first, JD be the first agent, and whenever you're ready.
Hey, JD, I just think it's a bad time to buy right now, so I'm not interested.
Yeah, hey Nicholas, I hear you. What I'm sensing is there's some uncertainty in today's market, and we all feel that way. If you want to be confident in making the right decision, then we should meet sooner rather than later to help you make that decision, don't you think?
Yeah, but I keep hearing, everywhere that it's not a good time to buy, and the rates are too high, and prices are too high. So I just think it's, not a great time for me.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you got a lot of information being thrown at you today, and if clarity is power and knowledge is free, then wouldn't you agree it makes sense to get the right information from a reputable source like myself? Don't you think?
Yeah, that makes sense, but I just don't want to waste your time, JD. I know you guys are you realtors are really busy, and I would hate to, take some time out of your day for if I end up just saying no again. So I think it'd be better for me to wait.
Hey, I appreciate that. I'm a busy person myself, Nick, and if timing is important, then we can set up a virtual meeting where you can just do it from your couch. Won't that be great?
Yeah, that does sound great, but I'm just worried. Maybe I don't know if I can even get approved for anything. So I just think it wouldn't make sense for me to try and look for something if I can't even buy it first.
Yeah, I'm sensing that you're not sure on what your financial status is with getting approved. And if that's some clarity you want, then we can set up a strategy session where we can go over your finances to make sure you can afford it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that does sound good. Let me talk to my wife first. She's pretty important to this transaction too. So I'll talk to her and I'll get back to you maybe tomorrow or next week, and we can set something up maybe.
Definitely, Nick. Happy wife, happy life. If it's important that all decision makers are on the same page. If we set a tentative appointment for tomorrow at 10, then that gives you plenty of time to talk to your wife, and I'll call you an hour before to make sure you guys are just as excited as I am to meet. Is that okay?
Yeah, that works, JD. Let's do that.
Okay. See you tomorrow at 10. Call you at 9. See you at 10.
And appointment has been set. So that's about it. Basically, the role play session just goes on for 15 minutes, vice versa. And then if another agent is in the room, then we can have him try out, and then can JD or Nicholas be the agent. So basically, that's about it. So how about we switch roles? So JD, now you be the client, Nick be the agent, and same objection. Okay? So
Yep.
whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Nick, it's a horrible time, man. Prices are high, interest rates are crazy. People want too much for their houses. This is horrible. I'm gonna wait for the market to crash.
Yeah, gotcha, JD. And I understand that. A lot of people are thinking that. And if you really do think it's a bad time to buy, then that's more of a reason for us to meet, so I can go over exactly why it's a good time to buy and potentially get you into your dream home sooner than you think, right?
Uh, yeah, but I just don't get, what you could say. I mean, are you going to make the market crash? It's just a bad time. Prices are too high.
Yeah, JD, I understand, and I understand you're looking at the market and the prices right now, and if there was a way where we could, get you the price or get you a home that's comfortable for you, then wouldn't it make sense for us to meet, right?
I mean, that would make sense, but my change is strange, man. I don't have any money, and it's just too expensive in this market. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, for sure, JD. I understand that, and there's a lot of programs, and there's a lot of options out there for people in your position. And if you want to take advantage of those programs and things that lenders and everyone else offers, then I think we should meet and get you into your dream home potentially. Does that work for you?
I mean, now it's just not a good time, Nick. It's maybe I'll just keep looking at home. Send me some stuff, and check back in with me in a couple months, and then we can talk.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure, JD. I can definitely do that. I just wouldn't feel like I was doing a great job as an agent, and I'd love to show you. Like I said, it's a real quick meeting, 15, 20 minutes, and if everything does work out, then we can get you into your home right away. If it doesn't, then we can just, you can leave with a lot of great information for when you are ready, maybe, down the line. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm almost at a yes, Nicholas, but I just really think that now's not a good time for me and my family.
Gotcha, JD, and like that's good that I'm glad you brought that up, you and your family, and it's a pretty important decision for you and your family, and there's never a good time or it's never perfect to try and time the market, but if you do want to eventually get into a house, then it would be very beneficial for us just to meet, so I can get you a lot of great information and get you ready, get you prepared for when you are ready. So I have today, at 2 o'clock, or I have later in the day at 4 p.m. Which one works better for you, JD?
Oh, gosh, Nick, you drive a hard bargain. I think 2 o'clock today works.
Gotcha. I'll see you then.
See you then.
There we go. And another appointment has been set. So thank you so much, gentlemen. And again, everybody, that's about it. So again, role play session, same objection, same concept, just how you would play on your statements while the if and then, while inserting the if and then, here and there in your statements as well. So any questions with regards to the role play session?
Any questions on the role play?
Any clarifications?
Any clarification?
All right. Yeah, for clarification.
We got a question.
We had to get hit with 5 objections before we get a yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So the question is, do we have to handle 5 objections before we get a yes? And so yeah, in the role play, because the first session that we did when we called each other out, that's called the tag style.
Okay.
In that one, it's just one and then tag. In this one, it's a role play. So what happens is, if I was role playing with you, you'd be the client. You'd have to give me the same objection 5 times, and you can't say yes until I handle that objection 5 times. And the moderators are listening to make sure we're using the concept. Because if you don't use the concept, let's say awesome statement, but you don't use the concept, they won't give you one. Because this is all about using the concept. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Would you agree?
I agree.
Wouldn't you agree? Good one. So yeah, that is correct. Mhm.
Yeah, no. Was there anything else, guys? No? Okay, Jules. What were you saying?
Basically, that is correct what JD mentioned. Because the reason why we do this as well is to really stretch out and where you can go, like how far can you take the concepts and your statements, and how much you can apply it to any statements that you have. Goes to show how much you understood the concept really, and how you can use it in different statements as well. So yes, that is like around 5 to 7, depending on you or depending on your client. If you want to be a hard client or you want to go easy with your partner. So depending on your client as well. But again, it's around 5 to 7 statements or 5 to 7 objections. But again, anything else that you want to clarify? Because basically that's about it for the role play session. Just a very, very quick role play session. And then after that is the takeaway session. Basically where we're going to ask everybody. So everyone, thank you so much for your participation in the tag style session as well as in the role play session. So anything that you've liked in our session today, any objection handler that stuck to you, anything that your partner said that enlighten you or you want to use with your clients, stuff like that. And then we can call on anyone in the room. So right now, since we're in the room virtually and physically there, let's ask someone here any takeaways that they have while observing the whole simulation of how game show works. Can we have Maria? Hi, Maria. Good morning again. Any takeaways, comments, anything that you have for today while listening to the whole session?
Well, it was kind of fast for me, because I'm, like that's the first time that I really like listened to how you guys do, the scripts and everything. So, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's like I would love to like join and because I think it's a very good like learning tool.
Got that. Well, thank you so much for that, Maria. And that's also one of the comments that we usually get. But thank you so much. Actually, we'd love to have you in our game show session. Everybody that's here, everybody that's listening, everybody that can hear my voice here in Zoom and or there in the U.S. Anyone that can hear me, you're welcome to join game show anytime. Again, we have two sessions, the 6 a.m. and the 7:30 a.m. Pacific time, and then you're free to observe. And right now, actually, JD shared to me his story when he first jumped in, and it really inspired me. And I'd love to share that to anyone that's starting out in game show because I feel like it's very, very inspiring. So, JD, would it be okay to share to everybody as well, like what happened on your first few tries, and then what happened then, and like what moved
Yeah.
you to consistently join game show?
Oh yeah. So yeah, I hopped off the first day. I'm not a quitter, so that's that's why I got on to the next one, and I really had to live in being uncomfortable. To be honest with you, I knew that going into it I was going to be uncomfortable, and so back then it was called game room, and you couldn't observe. You could not observe. They wouldn't allow us to observe back then. So you had to practice to be a part of it. You had to have your cameras on and you had to practice. And so because I didn't know the statements, I didn't know the concepts, there was plenty of times where I said, I don't know, guys, pass, or someone help me out. And I think after about a month, I became comfortable with the style, but I still wasn't comfortable with the concepts and everything. And the honest reality is there's some days where I go in there and it's not easy. I'm uncomfortable. I'm brought back to that day one, especially if we get an objection that is new. Like right now, we're probably going to be getting those commission objections with the NAR settlement. And I don't have to right now. I have a book right here where I'm learning the statements. But learning the statements and putting the concepts together, that takes time to learn. So even now, I'm still uncomfortable in some situations, but it took me about 2 to 3 months to kind of get the grasp of everything. Because it's 8 weeks, right, Jules, for us to go through all the concepts? Is it about 8 weeks?
Yeah.
So those concepts that she went through at the beginning of class, we practice that concept for a week and then we move on to the next one. They kind of just repeat the process. So if you want to learn it all, you got to minimum be there for 8 weeks, and that's just to learn one. That's just one go through of everything. 8 weeks over 2 years, I probably practiced those concepts 30 or 40 times to get to where I'm at. Mm-hmm.
All right. And also to add to that as well, everybody, the more you attend game show, the more comfortable you'll be with the whole session, the program, the concepts, and the more that you'll be natural with it when you apply it with your statements, when you're talking to clients. Imagine like JD now with any objection that we throw at him, any concept that we're going to be that we're using. He's a natural. Like any concept, any objection at all that we throw at him, it doesn't sound like he's having a hard time. And you can be as good as him when you attend game show for like 2 years consecutive, or even faster, right, JD? As long as you're
Right.
consistent, you show up. You're
Right.
disciplined?
Yep.
Definitely. And also, how about we also hear from Nick? I believe Nick here is one of those who really caught on fast about the concepts, the style. So, Nick, want to go ahead and share to everybody how was your first session, tag sale session, first game show attendance? How was it?
It was scary. So when I first joined, it was just me and JD and like 10, 15 cyberbackers. So I was like really intimidated, but I stuck with it, and I think it's been a year now since I've been going, and yeah, I'm not as nervous. I'm still kind of nervous going into some of the concepts, but it's a lot easier now than it was a year ago.
Thank you so much for that, Nick. And again, everybody, that is true. It's only going to be challenging. This is what I always mention at the end. It's only going to be challenging in the first few tries. But again, as long as you stay consistent, show up, and be disciplined, then definitely it will be natural, more natural along the way, right? And you'll be more and more and more comfortable. So, everybody, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, oh, and by the way, we are going to put here in the Zoom chat box a survey form just in case there's an objection that you want to be tackled in game show that we can use in the coming weeks as well. So you can type in there your objection so that when you hop in and then we use your objection, you can get ideas of how that objection can be handled in different ways. Because to give you an idea, guys, game show is attended by different agents all around the US, by different brokerages, not just in KW, but different agents all around the US, right? So it's attended by tenured agents, new agents. So when you hop onto Game Show, you're not just learning or formulating your own statements, but you can also learn statements from tenured agents, from new agents, and you can get ideas of, oh, this objection can actually be handled this way by this perspective. So this objection can actually be seen in different angles. So more perspective, more ideas, sharing of best practices, basically. So yeah, and that's about it. Just a 30-minute session every day to warm up before you start calling, before you start meeting your clients. Because again, we don't practice on your clients, right?
Right.
Right. So, any questions?
No, I think we're all set, Jules. I'll go ahead and get a list of emails on who wants to get the emails and wants to join. I'll get that over to you guys before the end of the day. Who should I email? Should I email Christina? Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, you may email game@cyberbacker.com.
Got it. Okay. Well, Jules, Camille, Nick, Christina, Dedette, Mondo, Maria, thank you guys all for being on here. Everyone, just give them a round of applause. Thank you guys.
Thank you, game show team.
Thank you,
Thank you as
everybody.
Thank you,
well, JD,
everyone.
for giving us this opportunity to meet you guys. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, we'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Let's see. I think I'm just going to leave this up because we got another class coming in right now. All right. Any questions? What? No. Coffee with Cappers is next. Meeting's at 11. Yeah, meeting's always at 11. A little early.
Should I come to you later, or can you sign me up for that?
Yeah, no, I got your email.
Okay.
I'll get that to it.
Where can I get a copy of those statements there?
By attending the game show. Yeah. They purposely don't give them to you because if they give them to you, you'll never show up.
And is that every day? I heard.
Monday through Friday, every day. So they have it 7:30 to 8. That's like the time that we do it. That's the latest one. They're in the Philippines, but they work off East Coast time. But if I can get a big enough group, they'll do a session specifically just for our office. Yeah.
So it's every day from at 9 for us?
No, 7:30 for us. 7:30 to 8. Yeah, I'm trying to get a session where we can do it later on in the day. But I just need enough people to say they want to. And we don't even have to do it with them. I can do my own session. I know how to teach it. But I need enough people to commit to doing it. Yeah. So we'll send out a survey. If I get enough people to sign up, then we'll maybe do like an afternoon one or something. Okay?
Stupid question for you.
Huh?
Feel free to laugh, and it's free, right? Like this is like okay. Just want to make sure it's no like program or thing that they're offering, like their courses or whatever, you know.
No, so
How do they know reading the book and all that?
yeah, so honestly, guys, you know, someone taught me this a long time ago. They're like, if someone wants to offer you something, what do they get in return? You know, because there's always something in return. It's a win-win for them. The reason they put this on was to train their cyberbackers on how to do ISA calls. So they train them on the program, but when they listen to us agents, what they don't have is they don't have the objection handlers.
Yeah.
So us agents show up and they log down the objection handlers.
Okay.
So that's how they win.
I got
Because they
you.
get to hear our statements, but they teach us the concept. So it's a win-win. They learn from us and we learn from them.
Okay.
Yeah. And they talk fast, so that's why I